Okay, now, Mike, I'm just going to ask you to remember this is my first 10 minutes, okay?
I'll be nice.
Thank you.
I'll be nice.
Right, give me a break.
Good evening, Mayor Devine, council members. My name is Mike Mohill. Congratulations on your win. Okay? Councilman Najarian, as the former mayor, I was impressed with you when you first started out. You were not going to repeat yourself as a bully as former Mayor Weaver. But unfortunately, you couldn't hold back, because the last time I spoke, you acted as a bully when you asked me, that was enough, Mr. Mohill, take your seat. That was a disappointment, and now you want to run for a higher office. Shame on you. Councilman Freeman, I know you were disappointed for not being selected as our new mayor. But, you know, maybe it's your past record that these colleagues are disappointed also. After all, you approved about 100% of all those brand new apartments in downtown Glendale with all the congestion we have and traffic. That will be part of your legacy when you leave office. Councilman Sinanian, an apology for you. Last time I spoke here, I was talking about Rock Haven, how Mr. Garpathian said, as far as Rock Haven was concerned, he was going to find funding for it. And I had said that you had made a promise that you would also take care of Rock Haven. You said, no, you never did. And you know, sir, I apologize, because you're absolutely right. You did never say that. However, I remember that Mr. Al Hoffman came here about 2 weeks ago about the downtown construction and all the development. And sir, you see that, you know, you weren't around back in the good old day with all that construction and building, so don't blame me for any type of overdevelopment in downtown Glendale now. But sir, the Office Depot apartment complex, I believe that's Broadway and Pacific, I call that the Eiffel Tower. I understand the developer is a friend of yours. If that's not true, correct me, but I understand he is. Also, Mr. Sinanian, you also approved the Camden Apartments. That's one of those apartments that have overhanging balconies on the public right-of-way. Not good, sir. That's bad. You even had Mr. Najarian and Mrs. Freeman approve those hanging balconies too of that project. And now you're also approving those boutique hotels. You are bringing in as much traffic as your predecessors, and you said you're not going to be like them. But sir, there's an old Armenian expression, isn't there? I believe it goes something like this: please walk straight and talk straight. Please be different going forward. Now, I received, like many people, the utilities, our city's, the utilities users tax pamphlet asking the public to not vote no on Measure N. I'm asking the public just the opposite. Please vote yes. Let's have some facts about this. The council's only solution is increases in taxes and fees, not reductions. You have the utilities users tax is a fixed rate cost, not a variable cost based on consumption of water and electricity, so that the more electricity and water we use, the higher is our tax. In 2008, the UUT earned the city about $8.3 million, and in 2015, the city reported $17.5 million. In 2000, Mr. Sinanian, according to the city's CAFRA report, we had over $250 million in GWP. In 2005, when Mr. Najarian became the councilman, we had about $153 million on the electric side of GWP. Today, we have practically no money in the electrical fund and the water fund, about $20 million. Where has all that money gone? We have hundreds of city employees with thousands of dollars in salary, $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 salaries. And it doesn't stop until we make a change. And by repealing the utilities users tax, a message will be sent to this council for change. Thank you.
Mr. Mohill. Mr. Ochoa?
Well, first, I think you have to correct Mr. Mohill that the pamphlet that he received does not say vote no on Measure N, although that doesn't stop him from advocating voting yes from the dais, I suppose, or from the podium. There is a number of things that were factually just incorrect in what he said. I don't know if you want to go through each one. I don't know if you have the time or the inclination, considering it's your first meeting. I suppose Mr. Sinanian would also correct that. I don't think you were here for the Camden project. And Mr. Hoffman, when he was here, he was talking about the Central Avenue developments as opposed to the project at Broadway and Pacific, which ironically enough doesn't look anything like the Eiffel Tower. But other than that, if you wanted to get into GWP and the fact that we have restored the reserves for GWP, that's something I think Mr. Elliott would be glad to talk with you about. And in terms of Measure N specifically, we've said it before, we said it again, it is not a pension reform measure. It is not a contractual measure on the city's MOUs with its contracts and employees. It's simply a revenue measure, and the voters will be asked to vote their conscience as it's been laid out for them in the ballot arguments for and against, as well as the informational statements and materials that the city's put out.
But the pamphlet was
But I
one-sided
think
without
that's-
any type of solutions.
No.
It's ironic that Mr. Mohill would say that the pamphlet doesn't provide any solutions when in fact Mr. Mohill does not provide any solutions. Mr. Mohill...
Oh, yes, I have in the past.
Mr.
You know.
Mohill's solution is to cut off the nose to spite his very face. It's unfortunate.
You
But
want
in
to-
any event, Madam Mayor,
Mr.
if you would
Mohill.
like to move into the other items that are on your agenda for oral communications, I'm sure we can speak ad nauseum with Mr. Mohill and see if it makes any bit of difference, but I doubt it.
Okay.
Just a
Thank
quick,
you,
just
Mr.
a quick
Mohill.
comment, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Councilmember Sinanian?
Thank you. I want to make sure that you didn't misunderstand me. Facts are the facts. I voted for a number of development projects in Glendale. That's a fact. I'm not denying it. There's no reason for it. What I was referring to
Yes.
was that Central Glendale and South Glendale were
Yeah.
developed and overdeveloped with not maybe big apartment buildings, but apartment buildings nevertheless, a long time before I got elected. That was the point that I was making. I was
But in
not saying I didn't approve.
But in
projects.
2013, you
Madam
did
Mayor.
approve
Oh, Hill.
with Mayor Najarian and
Please.
Freeman
Please.
that project by Memorial Hospital.
Anyway, so that's
Thank
what I
you,
wanted to
Mr.
say.
Moyle.
It's for the- it's on the
Any
record.
developer,
That's
whether
on
it's...
the record.
Thank you.
Out of order,
Mr. Moyle. Any
Thank you.
developer, I don't know who specifically who he was referring to, but there's not a developer in this city whom I have known longer than I've known Mr. Mohill, and I've been closer with than I am with Mr. Mohill.
Okay. All right.
Madam Mayor,
Thank you. Yes.
I thought the city attorney was going to defend me too, but folks at home, when a speaker submits a card, the name is called, and the speaker approaches the podium, our fine city clerk has a timer, and the timer is either 3 minutes or 5 minutes. It's a countdown timer. When the timer is over, there's a little sound that goes off. That's the indication for the speaker to stop talking because his allotted time is up.